Hello, I'm Laure-Anne Bosselaar, and although it seems that I'm in the wonderful Poet's House and the construction and all that, I'm talking to you from Santa Barbara, California, where it's about 72 degrees while you're in the snow, sorry to say. But I'm here because do I ever want to support everything that's going on at Poet's House? And I'm so sorry about all the water and all the catastrophe, but I'm also so relieved that the collection actually wasn't drowned. What a relief. So I would like to start by reading a poem by who else but Lee Briccetti, who did so much for so many years, and for who the Poet's House was her project, her passion, her dedication, her goal in life. And she did a fabulous job before all that happened and the water came down. And I'm terribly sorry about it, but it's gonna work out. They're gonna rebuild it and it's gonna be splendid and magnificent, and we'll have the good couches again and the pillows and the good books. So thank you, Lee, for everything you've done for Poet's House. And I'm going to read the last poem in your book, Blue Guide. And the poem is entitled Distance. Distance. Though, if I look, the abandoned barn magnetizes fear, and God's dreaded presence pours infinite space. I didn't know you once, sexy and impatient in your teenage bed, room with a sink in the Bronx. Time ago, oh, your perfectly shaped knees. Whatever we are now, this is harvest. Galaxies of fruit fall. Distance closes. Listen. I love that poem. And when I read it, I often go, what haven't I listened to for the last 10 years or 3 minutes, you know? And the poem I'm going to read, oddly enough, was written right there outside the window there. There's a little park with a bench, and I sat on that bench and started the first draft of the poem that I will read. And why was I sitting out there, out the window there? My husband, the poet Kurt Brown, my late husband, the poet Kurt Brown, was on the board of Poet's House. And he would regularly go with Lee and other people, of course, visit the construction site. I don't have to tell you what it looked like because you have it on the background here. Visited the construction site, and I would wait outside and sit by the river. And I'm going to give you a very short explanation. As writers, we all know that we have an image or a moment or something that haunts us and that keeps fascinating us and that we try to write about, but we can never really get there. And one of those things for me is that ever-changing, unphotographable, mysterious place in a river just before it goes into the sea. But there's also the seawater that enters that place in the river, in that delta going into the sea. And so you can never know anywhere in that river or in the Hudson where the sea and the river are in perfect balance, you know, where there's just as much seawater than salt water. And it has always fascinated me because nobody can know it. Nobody will ever see it. Nobody will ever be able to measure that. And I love that mystery. So here's my poem. On a bench by the Hudson. Behind me, concrete dumping, steel slamming, and curses echo from ground zero. Before me, what I come to see but never do, that place in the water where silent, invisible, and drowned, there is a perennial whirl. Where is it? A swirl in the river where it ends its journey, takes water, and wrecks into the sea. That precise place, or is it a moment that you or I will never see? A sweet, salted swell made of what is swallowed, dies, and yet flows on, flows into what it will become. Both waters are mingled there, neither river nor sea, but suspended exquisitely for an instant. And then the great ocean. And this bench I keep coming back to, where others also come and go, their presence a whirl in the air when they leave, before I come to breathe in the city's swells, watching the Hudson rush, an ashen estuary, skyscrapers and ships dragged in its ripples. Look at me sitting here, speaking softly to myself in a language that isn't even mine, staring at a dying river as if I could catch a truth behind it, lost in my journey away from my country, my children facing other seas, other oceans, and my pulse a swirl, invisible, drowned, small beat, rush. Sweet salt. Thank you very much and good luck, and may construction go without any problems, and may Poets House soon be the welcoming place again. Thank you.